Chosen One!
Welcome to The Chosen One. I'm your host, Qui-Gon Din, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a list spotlight. We're going to be doing a little bit of a showcase of a kind of a preamble list to Morgan Elsbeth into what I feel is going to be one of her strongest pairings. So we don't know the stance cards for this box yet, but we kind of know how this box really likes to play. The Night Troopers are going to be standing on points, probably going to be melee oriented in terms of how they want to fight. This is going based off of how Enoch plays with his exposing trick and the fact that, they're zombies. They want to swarm and horde onto victims and turn them into zombies. So the whole unliving dead mechanic, Morgan Elsbeth is going to be a very kind of swashbuckling beat stick piece that wants to fight your opponents on one-on-one interactions because she's going to get the extra melee dice. Her manipulating hand is diceless displacement. She has a Darth Maul level identity where she doesn't have to spend force to do anything on her tree. She can make it so her allies also can spend force. We know she's got 10 health, so that's really cool. We do know that she has some type of revenge trigger when she goes down. And we do know that, the Night Troopers, when a Stormtrooper gets wounded, they're going to remove all their injure tokens if they're next to Morgan Elsbeth. That is the kind of the basic play pattern. So where do we really want to expand on this? Well, the Night Troopers are going to force your opponent to wound things in a very kind of particular manner. And when we're looking at, she has a revenge trigger, Morgan Elsbeth being a target, how do we mitigate your opponent wanting to really wound stuff and go full aggro? Well, we pair it with Mando. And Mando DTE Death Troopers are going to be a very good pairing. Just right out the gate, Death Trooper Escort is still really strong. The Death Troopers have a really cool ability that, their melee tree actually hits pretty hard. And that in combination with Enoch's exposability means they can actually get further down their tree and really utilize that utility tree that they have. They got built-in protection. They also got the 7 health. You want a unit that's going to be in the fray, forcing your opponent to deal with them to proc off the Night Troopers recovering. And Death Troopers, in my opinion, fit that bill better than any of the other current Stormtroopers. The other slot you could probably put in here is Shore Troopers, and then you get this really sticky list. But I like the workhorse that the Death Troopers are. Mando is going to be doing a lot of moving here because this list is going to be able to hold points very well. The Night Troopers have to be wounded to, well, you have to displace them through displacement. You can't really wound them. And every time you do try to wound them, well, now Mando's going to get a move. You're going to be able to really do this point control list. You also have 2 elements of diceless displacement with Morgan Elsbeth and Mando, meaning against those revenge trigger lists, you kind of have a play pattern of I'm going to be able to take points without getting wounds and triggering revenge. I think the Night Troopers themselves going into Cassian is actually going to be a very good thing. The Night Troopers really don't have to worry about the bomb near as much because of how the list will play every time stuff's getting wounded. You may activate the Night Troopers only once in your game, put them on points, and then they just get moved around by your secondaries. There's a lot of play here. The Night Troopers look like they're going to be fairly tanky with their reactive. Being able to take away expertise results is really, really strong. And do not be surprised if Night Troopers are a 5. I feel like the way Enoch looks on design, he looks like he's going to be a 3. He's either a really good 3 or a really, really kind of subpar 4. and based on the abilities. It's looking like he's really much going to be a 3, though. And I'm hoping that the Night Troopers are a 5 because it means that their stats will represent a 5. I'm expecting something that's going to hit as hard as the Aqua Droids. If that is the case, the Night Troopers are going to be the premier support for an Empire list. But this list brings you a lot of movement utility, a lot of ways of keeping points with like your reactions with your wound triggers, because you have your own revenge trigger. DTE can reposition to another point if he gets attacked, and the Night Troopers are just going to be good at like holding points, meaning you can really flex the mobility of Mando and DTE to really just keep up that scoring parity. And this is just kind of the starting point of where I'm looking at with the My Loyalty, My Life squad pack. I think Mando is going to be very good in this list. He's good in every list, let's be honest, because it's Mandalorian. But this list specifically, I think Mando is going to come really, really synergize very well with Morgan Elsbeth. And it's going to really push your opponent to really have to play very carefully with how the order that they wound stuff, how they wound things. You can capitalize on them wounding things. It's kind of going to be really a toolboxy kind of list. Thank you for watching this episode of The Chosen One. If you'd like to watch the next video, you can watch the one in the link above. And if you want to listen to the podcast, you can listen to the playlist below. Thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe.